kings and queens? It's your boy, the UP King, the people's champ, and I'm back with another video. And you see it, we got all the products here that we finna use today. This is it. That's it right here, everything. Now, I get asked all the time, how much paint did you use? What kind of clear do you use? Listen, I've been back and forth with the clear, trying to find something that works. I've been really trying to talk my man Grant 7 into making some production clear, but he ain't hearing me right now. Y'all jump in the comments, tell Grant, hey, come on with some clear that, the production guys can use, I'm not doing everything custom. I'm doing a little bit custom, but the custom stuff that I'm doing, you'll see that Grant 7 on it. But everybody is not trying to pay to get that type of quality clear on their vehicle. It's sad to say, some people just like to go with a cheaper brand. So, cheaper brand of clear that I found works pretty well. Lower end of some paint, it's not top quality, but it'll get the job done. Hey, again, reducer. Everybody don't think it's the best, but it works for me. Especially when you got customers that's on a budget. They want to have their vehicle nice, but don't want to spend too much money. And this is what this is right here. We're going to keep the cost down. $300. You can't beat it. This is $300. Now, I can't just, put it on a thumbnail and tell you it's $300 and then you just go with it. You see that. Nobody really showing you that it really costs $300 for all these paint materials. But I'm going to show you. But first, before I show you, let's talk about what we got here. First off, we got a Finish One clear kit, Sherwin-Williams or Acme by Sherwin-Williams. We have 2 quarts of paint here. This is shop line. It is the low end of shop line, which is regular shop line. Then they have a plus. Then you step up to Deltron. Then we just have a gallon of some urethane reducer. Now, the shop line is reduced mix ratio of a 1-to-1 mix, which means I'm going to reduce this 2 quarts with half of this, which is half of a gallon. That's going to give me a gallon sprayable. So now that I got a gallon sprayable, I should be able to do what it is that I need to do. And I'll show you that in just a second. But let's go ahead and check out these prices for everything that we got right here. All right, so as you can see here, we got the WA8574. We got the urethane medium reducer. You can see that we have 2 quarts and 1 gallon. 2 quarts of the base, 1 gallon of the reducer. The base is $60.25 a quart with a gallon of the reducer at $22.77. In total, $151.87. Now, showing you the clear kit. You see the FC 720 as well as it says FH611, which we have the FH612. So that was incorrect on the paperwork. But you see that kit 114. When you look at the tax, we're talking $120.84. All right, so now I showed you the prices on everything, and you see, you got some numbers there. Now, take your calculator out. I know some of us is getting a little up there in age, So we might not be able to do it that fast in our head no more or on the paper. Take your phone out, calculate that, and then tell me the price. Jump in the comments, give me the price of these paint supplies from what I just showed you. Now we got base, we got reducer, we got clear. So you see what we're doing here. Calculate that up, drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think on that price. Can we do it at that price? Or, is it just some talk, some foolery? Let's see what we got out in the shop and what we finna do. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's go. Oh yeah, before we jump up there, let me just say, we're gonna use the GTI Pro Lite copycat, from ROKELTU. We're gonna use this one more again. It's kind of a cheaper end spray job. So let's use a cheaper end spray gun. That'll make this even better on how much it might cost me to do a cheap job, but we still get a nice result. Hopefully we get a nice result. Let's get out here and let's see. All right, so this is the 84 or 85 Buick LeSabre that we are going to spray with 2 quarts of paint with reducer and a gallon of clear. Now, as you can see, the top is covered because I have a full vinyl top. Now, that's what's going to make me be able to get away with only needing 2 quarts because I don't have to paint the entire vehicle. Had I had to paint the entire vehicle, then I might go with a gallon of paint. But since I don't have to paint the top, which is a pretty big top, that will take up quite a bit of paint, I'll just go with the 2 quarts. Now the 2 quarts reduced down with the reducer will give me a gallon sprayable. Also, it's going back the same color. It's not a color change, which saves me from having to do the door jambs. So I'm only doing the outside. So since I only have to do the outside, going back the same color, and I don't have a full top or roof to paint, that's going to allow me to paint this car at a minimal cost. So let's jump into the action. All right, kings and queens. So we're getting the gun set up. Originally started off spraying all my primer spots with a light tack coat. Spraying at 26 PSI. And now doing the full wet coats. Not too wet, but not a tack coat. I like spraying a little bit slower. I do like picking up the speed a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I was getting this paint on because I knew I was limited on the paint supply that I had, so I wanted some nice even coats and wanted to make sure that I'm getting great coverage because I do have minimal paint supplies and wanted to make sure that I'm getting good coverage. So I'm taking my time, not rushing through it, and making sure that, the base is laying down real nice and covering on top of the original base. Of course, this thing is going back to the original color, so it shouldn't take much for it to cover, but getting this thing covered up pretty good.
GTI Pro Lite copycat is doing pretty good. I'm starting to like this spray gun a lot more. Does a nice job. Spraying with the 1.3 tip, of course. And if you're interested in this thing, you know it'll be a link in the description. You can check it out for yourself. This is a hvlp spray gun, but I'm spraying at the 26 psi and it's doing pretty good. We're getting good coverage again. Working our way around the car. And this was one that I could just kind of enjoy. I pretty much enjoy all of them. Some of them give you some headaches, but this one turned out to be pretty nice. Definitely wasn't a difficult car to spray. Helped out a lot that I didn't have the roof to spray, so it kind of gave my arm a little rest, not having to paint that big roof. And again, it saved me on materials. It's not too many vehicles you're going to be able to paint the whole car base clear for $300. But these is the little things that you can do to save you some money when you're trying to save money. I didn't have to spray the door jambs. Again, didn't have to spray the roof, under the hood, or under the trunk. So that saves me on materials that I know, would cost me even more. With me having to do maybe the roof, under the hood, under the trunk, everything, I probably would have needed at least 2 more quarts to get this job done and get everything tackled. But again, I was able to save quite a bit of money on materials because of the situation of not having to paint under the hood, under the trunk, and the roof. So these are the things you got to take into consideration when you're doing your project, what you're actually doing. So if you're looking to get a nice job, but you're kind of like, I don't want to say cutting corners, but you're just trying to save some money, but still get a quality job. Just kind of like go over what it is that you're trying to do, what materials you're using, the mix ratios, how they cover. Those are the things that you really want to pay attention to. Some of these brands, they just don't cover as well. So the cost runs up a whole lot more because you need more material because it doesn't cover that well. So every situation is a little bit different. But again, here in this situation, we going back the same color, and it's working out pretty good. Again, making our way around the car. As you can see, some of those spots were still light from that tack coat, but we getting it covered. Again, not rushing through it, taking our time and making sure we're getting everything covered. And that's what you want to do. You don't have to put it on too heavy and attempt to get total coverage. And if you've learned how to get full coverage in the first coat, or most of your coverage in the first coat, then hey, stick with that. Some materials you can do that, and if you can do that, little tips and tricks on different sealers and stuff like that. There's different ways to get around, your paint materials and how much you spend on paint materials. And if you want me to start showing a lot more of that, to try to help out on different costs to get your projects done, then I'll do that. Just let me know in the comments, if that's more of what you would like to see, and I'll try to make more of those type of videos to help out. Here we are making our rounds, getting almost done. We about finished with the hood on the passenger side. And then we just gonna be about ready to jump into some clear coat in here in a little bit. And you see me getting tied up with the air hose, but we got it together. All right, kings and queens. So we got the base on, got everything covered. Nothing is bleeding through. It's looking real good. Base looking real nice, real smooth. I really enjoyed this one, man. Spraying this LeSabre. Actually came out a lot nicer than I expected it to. You always expect them to come out pretty decent, but not putting a whole lot of time and money into this one. So I expected it to be decent, but I was happy with this one. This one needed a lot of work in the doors. This one was hit by a deer. The owner wasn't trying to spend too much money, but he still wanted a nice job. And here we are getting ready to jump into the clear. Spraying the clear at 30 psi. And we just going to town with it now. Again, the GTI Pro copy. It was spraying real good. Of course, we outside of the paint booth, so I'm not too crazy about the overspray. But it wasn't as bad as the very first time I sprayed with it. Of course, if you didn't see that video, I'll put it in the description or I'll put it up top. Spraying that Silverado bedside definitely puts out a lot of overspray. So if you're worried about overspray and being able to see why you're spraying, you might not want this spray gun. But if you got a pretty good exhaust system, a good setup, this wouldn't be a bad spray gun for you. But of course, I sprayed this one outside of the paint booth, but I still was able to see, still got the job done. And I was happy with it. So this spray gun will definitely get the job done. Laying down this first coat of clear. I'm moving a lot faster than I did spraying my base. But of course, laying down that first coat of clear, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to get it on. After which, I can take my time with that second coat. And if a third coat is necessary, then you can just really lay it on, take your time. Start watching those layers flow out. But that first coat, I just want to move a little bit faster and get that material on. And I don't want it to start sagging or running on me after the first coat. So We try to get it on pretty quick. And then we can get it to lay out a whole lot more on that second coat. But again, this is that finished one clear. Doing a great job. It's a great overall clear in my opinion. If you're definitely on a budget, this clear will definitely get the job done and leave you with a nice finish. It cuts and buff pretty well. So I really have no complaints with it. Haven't had any issues with dieback. So flows out pretty nice. You can get a pretty good glass finish with it, depending on what you're doing and what you're going for. Of course, I wasn't going to attempt a real glass finish on this one or a flat finish. This just needed to look good. The owner of the car is definitely happy with it after he saw it. So if he's happy, I'm definitely happy. Started getting a little trash and a little bugs falling onto the panels. So just hitting them with some air, getting them off the panels. Because once you get to that clear, you don't want to be grabbing, tack rags and, microfiber tiles. So your best bet is going to be that air pressure and some tape. And try to clean up as much as you can so that you can keep on spraying that clear, keeping that wet edge as best as possible. I was really having a good old time with the air hose, as you can see, fighting with it, trying to get it to come around those turns and corners, getting stuck in behind the wheels of the car. So sometimes you gotta adjust for that. Again, if this was in the paint booth, I'd have it set up a whole lot different. But doing it outside the booth, it was a little bit more challenging, but we got it done. So another example of not needing a paint booth. The paint booth is nice. If you got a nice setup, it's nice and it'll work. But definitely not necessary to have a paint booth to get a nice job. And I think this job right here will show you that you don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to have the best equipment, the best spray guns. You don't have to have all of that to get a nice finish that will last you. And you ain't got to break the bank. You don't have to go broke. You don't have to go poor, to get your project done. There are ways to get this done without, costing you a ton of money. If I can figure out how to do this for $300, there's a way for you to be able to do it within your budget or your price range. As that clear going down, you can see me in the panels. That's what you want to see. You want to start seeing your reflection. Again, the FC20 is a nice clear. I haven't tried the FC740, but I got that on the radar to check out. Going through the panels, laying that clear down, and we almost done on that first coat. Getting it all tied in, and we bringing it home. Great combination with this GTI Pro Lite copy and this FC720, the Acme Finish One by Sherwin-Williams, if you want to say all of that stuff. And again, for the price, it's a good price for a decent clear. And it's looking good. All right, kings and queens, tell me what you think. What do you think about the LeSabre? It's looking real good in my opinion. Drop me something in the comments. Tell me what you think, if you like it, if you don't like it. But I think it looks pretty good. And I mean, come on, for $300, really under $300, but for $300, could you live with this finish? Could you live with your car looking like this for $300? We talking base clear. We not even talking single stage. This is base coat, clear coat for under $300. Come on now, this is what the Underground King, the Underground Paint King brings to you. I can show you different ways and different avenues on how to get this thing done, get the body work done, get it done for cheap. You don't have to spend a fortune to get your stuff done and to look good. This is why I do these videos for you guys and you gals. I mean, this thing look good. Tell me what you think. Drop it in the comments. Is it a yay or nay? And do you like doing it for that price? Or do you think a lot more money should have been spent on it? Oh yeah, we did the header panel too. Yep, we didn't show you the footage of that getting done, but the header panel was done also at that same price. Done all at the same time. So listen, this is your boy the UP King, showing you can get it done without breaking the bank.